Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Friday, the 13th of May, London session. So, Friday the 13th, guess we're gonna just have to be a little bit extra cautious today. I'm not too superstitious, but if you are, maybe you wanna lower your risk or something. So, let's get into the news. Really, nothing. Um, Wrong times. Okay, so nothing really this morning at all. Whole day is actually pretty smooth sailing, so not too much to worry about there. The technicals should pretty much take over. Okay, cool. Let's have a look at gold here. So, gold yesterday we had quite a strong push down later in the day. Does this move start? 3 o'clock. Yeah, pretty strong move down here. Obviously, as the daily candle flipped bearish, excuse me, as the daily candle broke the lows, we just plummeted there. Didn't really close with much of a bottom wick here, but we did close below some sort of support at this level over here. Just trying to really make sense of what's happening here. Sorry, I've been muted. Marking up some supports and resistances. So our daily candle yesterday, we had quite a big push after we broke the lows there, closing below some sort of support here on a daily. We already had a pretty strong push down today and are now pushing back up, but looking here, we're not really pushing into any sort of significant level. Okay, your next significant level is really counted down here at 1790 kind of thing. So if we can reject this area here somewhere around 1828, where we are currently tapping into, you could possibly see this daily candle flip back bearish and possibly drive down to fill the wick. You've also got a support level over here, so this would be your first target in terms of sales. And then you could target the bottom wick here. Jeez. Quite a crazy wick that. We could leave a runner down to that level over there. That'll be alright. Well, we've closed bullish here. Bearish on the previous hourly, and we would be waiting for a resistance in this scenario to push back down to support. So we've got that resistance formed now. Our new hourly is pushing up. Not too much of a bottom wick. So you could be looking to actually get entries here on the break of the low kind of thing. The 4 hour, I'm not too impressed with. We obviously had that major rejection, closing pretty strong bullish on our previous 4 hour. So let's just see here. In terms of bars, I'm just not too happy. Of course, here on low time frame, we've got clean range moving up. But if you're looking left on your higher time frames, we've got this level over here, okay? And then really it's actually just a mess. To the left, in this range, got a lot of resistance. So, not looking for bars unless possibly we break above 1832. Let's see that on a lower time frame. Yeah, unless we break 1832, we could possibly have bars above there. Right now, waiting for resistance to form here and for sales. So if this candle wicks up like this and then comes back to break the lows, you could see a pushback down to support here as volume kicks up in pre-London. Okay, let's just have a quick look at GJ. Okay, GJ is moving here. I saw this earlier, waited for a resistance to form. So that looks perfect here on GJ. GJ overall, pretty much same story as gold, eh? Pushed down a lot yesterday. Right now you've got clean range back down to, some of these areas we tapped into yesterday. Okay, so we had a support formed here on a 30-minute. Ideally, you would have locked a closure below there. So this is actually okay. About to break the lows on the 4-hour. At this point, just gonna wait for a 15-minute closure. So we're just about broken the low here on the 4-hour. You know, like I say, downtrend. We've pulled back, waiting for a resistance to form to push back down to support. It's pretty simple, really the same story as gold this morning. Although both are looking very, very similar here in terms of the fact that we had a pretty strong rejection. Gold also lining up here to break these lows. So let's just see, maybe we get an entry on the break of the previous hourly candle. I reckon at that point you could have stops above the current candle. Let's keep it above the previous candle to be safe. So gonna set a sell stop here on gold for now. Above the previous candle here. Target is to fill the wick, but of course as we tap into the support we will be managing our position. There is also, you know, areas to be careful of, such as over here, 1822.5. So let me actually set this on my MetaTrader, otherwise I'm gonna miss the trade. Oh shit. Okay, about to get triggered in here on gold. 15-minute close with no bottom wick there. A little bit concerning, but very, very bearish at this point, so got some nice volume already. Tapping into a little bit of a support, but with volume we should break these minor areas with the high time frame momentum as well. As we tap into about 10 pips. So once we've broken this support here, what I'll do is close half of my positions. Excuse me, maybe I'll close 25% and I will move stops to break even. GJ here, yeah, pushing down quite nicely. Unfortunately, you know, I guess our 15-minute close pretty good. I'd like to see a bit of a wick up before the break of the lows here to push back down. Got clean range down to this level over here. Let's just focus on gold for now. Already in this trade. GJ looking a little bit messy, looking like it will push down, but we may struggle for entries here. In about 7 pips of profit here, 7-8 pips. So that's your 10 pips, gonna move stops to break even here. Moving down pretty nicely. Gonna close out half at this point. About 10 pips. 12 pips, let's say. Stop loss at break even. What? Let's see GJ here. To enter now would just be, you know, like FOMO. You'd be entering out of FOMO. So let's see, we got a closure below this support here on a 15. That's great. If we could wick up even back into that level and then break the lows, would be a better entry, but not too sure about this one. At this point, probably best to wait for a 30-minute closure on GJ. That obviously makes the most sense. We'll have a bit more confirmation at that point, and we can possibly get some better entries. What I would like to do on gold is just leave our runners to run at this point, and as we tap into the support here, I'll close, let's say 30% or 40%, and leave the rest to run. So you got about 60, yeah, 60 pips going down here to our support, and then that's a pretty big move. So only gonna leave a small runner, maybe 10% of the original position, once we tap into that support. So at the support here, we would have closed out 90% of our position. Haven't hit break even yet. Still moving pretty nicely. If I look at a 5-minute close bearish, wicked up, pushing back down. I'd like to see a little bit more of a push on a 30-minute here before the 30-minute closure. Either way, we've secured a little bit of profit. That'll be okay. For GJSLs, this looks like a pretty hefty level to be careful of, considering it's a 4-hour support level. Yesterday was crazy. I mean, London session yesterday, we caught this move down. Then this move here. So on the next hourly closure, I think it was. Yeah, we closed below a significant level. Must have been here. Caught another one. Took three trades on GGSA, 3 sells. All worked out quite well. Where's... Here we go. On the 15-minute as well. We had an entry on the break of this low over here. Right here. This was our hourly candle closure. Below support. New candle. Formed a decent little wick. Broke the lows. Pushed down nicely. Pretty fun day on GJ yesterday. Grabbed about 60 pips there. We're retracing quite a bit here on the 30 minutes. which is not too bad. We'll see what happens here on the 30 and 15. We could possibly get entries for sales. Moving down nicely on gold at this point. Still haven't tapped it into break even. Came pretty close there, but you should be pretty safe at this point. Moving down nicely. Like I say, I'd like to see a move down before the 30-minute closure so that our new 30-minute candle won't want to wick up too far. Probably gonna close a little bit on the 30-minute closure, just in case that wick does happen. Just something you have to be aware of, you know. Secure the profit you have. You have made some profit today already. You know, don't drop the bag. Don't get caught holding the bag. Let's see, a 30-minute is also going to close below this level over here. Like I say, not of too much significance, but obviously something you do want to be cautious of. If we can close below there on a 30-minute, that'll be nice to move on down to support here. Our 30-minute closes anything like that, hopefully with a little bit of a bottom wick. New candle wicks up, breaks the lows, push down to support. Flawless. Let's just see what happens there. So yeah, your next candle you want to pretty much look something like this. As your new candle closes, you do want to see a little bit of a bottom wick formed before it drives down. But then your new candle, let's make a little wick here. Come on. Trying to make a wick, it's not so easy. Okay, there you go. So your new candle, you would like to see a wick up into that zone will be pretty ideal, will make sense. And then as we break the lows, we should push down to support. Pretty straightforward. Go away, stupid rectangle. So far so good here in gold. Quite a nice move, up about 20 pips at this current point in time. Initial stops were about 32. So let's just add this to the record here. About to close on 30 minutes, so we'll keep an eye on there. 8:14. Volume picked up nice and early today. Yesterday was wild, man. Really wild west yesterday. GJ just dropped and dropped and dropped. I think if you weren't if you didn't know any better, you would probably be chasing bars, because the way it was dropping was just insane. Like, even me, I was like, surely it has to turn around at some point. But if you just keep executing on the direction, you going to make profit. This was gold, excuse me. Currently still sitting at about 20 pips, 22 pips kind of thing. 32. So here we go, this is our stop loss size, 32 pips. Closed half at 10. 12, excuse me. And so far so good. There we go. Like I said, nice closure below that level. A little bit of a wick up, break of the lows, nice movement down, perfect. Currently sitting at about 30 pips. Going to close. Gonna close 25% here, guys. This is tapping into a 4-hour support. So, yeah, gonna close 25% here. As we tap into the support, I'll close the last like 15 or so percent, whatever you want to say, to leave 10% of my original position to run down to support. That's just the way I want to manage this trade. We are overall bearish. Yes. But we had this huge rejection, okay? Just kind of scares me a little bit. You know, it does make complete sense on an hourly here. Creating resistance at that kind of daily area, looking to the left, break of the low. Volume picking up with pre-London, push down nicely here. But we have tapped into a 4-hour support. So let us make sure we are managing our positions here, not being too greedy. Closed 25% at 30 or 1821.6. Let's see here, 1821.6 on my broker. That's what it says. Actually, my entry on my broker is 1825.4. So around about there. 1821.6. So 37 pips closed. For now, let's leave it as that. Gonna let the rest do its thing here. I'll have an alert at the support. If we get there, I'll close a little bit more and just let the rest run. So not too concerned here what happens. Closed out a nice little position there already. GJ on the other hand, okay, we got a closure below the support here, but we're closing on this level over here. You have broken the 4-hour lows, but you don't really have too much of a top wick on the 4-hour here. Nothing too remarkable. Not really happy with the way things are playing out here on GJ. You could have had entries on the break of, you know, the support if you wanted to have a sell stop at that level, and then you'd have your stop loss above, I guess, the current or previous hourly candle, 30 pips. And at this point you would probably have your stops at break even, possibly have even closed out some profit. But anyway, right now not looking ideal to enter. If you break the low here on the 15, this actually looks a little bit better. Okay, so you know, same story as gold. We formed a resistance here on a lower time frame in a downtrend. We've got volume picking up now pre-London. Okay, only thing I don't like is that our 30 minutes closed above this level. We closed below this support but above this level, so arguably we are actually just in this lower range now, and that doesn't do too much for us. So I'd like to see a wick up here, and if we get a decent enough wick, then possibly on the break of the low kind of thing. Could be looking at entries. I think those stops will be too big for me. But this 15-minute setup looks pretty good for a further push down once we break the lows here. Not going to play around too much with it. Had a nice trade here on gold. Probably going to call it a day here, one and done. Not going to overextend myself. Took one loss this week, one break even. Nasty little loss actually. 40 pips. So I need to buckle down on the managing of losses with those bigger stop losses. I think I need to put some sort of system in place where we close half. Obviously, you know, looking at this, looking at the pips, positive pips here you're making, this is profitable. Win rate is, you know, roughly about 70% at the moment. Let's see, 16. Okay, we've had a total of 22 trades here, 16 of them ones. 72% win rate. You know, you can definitely make money, but your big losses like that are going to be quite detrimental to some of the profits you're grabbing. So just something we can learn here, or I can learn, I guess. Managing those biggest stop losses a little bit better. To even take a 30 pip stop with half of your original position would be a lot easier on your account than a full 40 pip stop. Guess 11 alone. You know, the thing is, I know these things, and I know you need to cut your losses short, but at the same time, you know, in a situation even like this where you've got your stop loss above the previous candle, okay, until we break that candle, the trade is valid. So you let it run all that way, and then, you know, end up getting stopped out. So there needs to be some sort of system in place where we're closing half before we get all that way. You know, like for instance here, if we went into drawdown, broke above here, I would have probably closed out, you know, probably like 80%. Because at that point that looks pretty bad. Still pushing down here. Yeah, looks good. GJ, no top wick on this 30 minutes. So, nothing to do there. Let's have a quick look at crypto or Bitcoin. Not that I trade it or anything. Obviously just, you know, things haven't been going too well in the crypto space. So, man, I think the whole crypto community is feeling a little bit of relief from that little daily candle, but I'm telling you, zoom out a little bit. Really. You're gonna breathe a sigh of relief from your daily candle, but you're closing below on a weekly, below the support. You guys are stupid. Got clean range. Ooh. Maybe next week we take Bitcoin sells. Got clean range moving all the way down into 19,250 on Bitcoin. Yeah, no. I wouldn't get too optimistic at this point with crypto. I think until it finds some more functionality, you know, a lot of these cryptos are gonna, sorry. Sorry about that, guys. Pray to God my mic was muted. Just had to do some twisting there. Just having a look at some other things here for interest's sake. Pushing back up here on gold, you can see why we closed out a lot of our position here as we tapped into the 4-hour. Made a lot of sense. Of course we could still drive back down, but we sort of created a support here on a 15-minute at this point. Our current 15 doesn't have a top wick, but this is also the top wick for the 30-minute now, so if we could push back down, flip bearish on the 30-minute, maybe we could drive back down. If we could break the wick here, break the low, then definitely we should see a push back down to support. But at this point, seems as though we are tapping into some rejection zones. GJ not looking too bad here. Okay, we close back in this range basically on a 15. If we get a closure on this 15 back in the range here, that's somewhat of a fake out. Although, look at this. Maybe it doesn't even need to be a fake out. Jeez. I did say I wanted to see a wick formed here on the 30 and then a break of the low. 28 pip stop. The 15 looks really good, the way it's sitting right there, but of course it's just open, so if we flip back bullish, then this is pretty much invalid. Gonna wait for the hourly closure here. Let's see what happens. Let's see if we can close just below the support and then we can get involved. Otherwise, if we drive too far down into this range, I'll leave it alone completely. If we close above, I'll leave it alone. Call it a day. Gold pushing down nicely here. Okay, cool. Our 30-minute has flipped back bearish. Let's see if we can get a bit of a stronger closure and then London Open drive us into that support. If you're on the stream this morning, thank you so much for joining. Really appreciate the support, but more importantly, I'm proud of you for putting in the time to learn something new, learn something that could benefit your life, your family, your future. So give yourself a pat on the back. It's a great thing to be doing, great opportunity, and I'm happy to help. Of course, if you don't know too much about trading, this may be going over your head, so please feel free to ask questions. Otherwise, check out babypips.com for some beginner info. Don't take that as an insult. We all start on babypips.com. Even the big guys that I've learned from started on babypips.com. Nothing to be ashamed of. Nothing to be ashamed of. Everyone starts somewhere. You know, that's the thing with some people, or most people in fact, is they're so scared to start. They're scared what people are going to think of them. You know, they think they're bad at something. Well, of course, if you've never done it before, you'll be bad. First day you go to gym, of course, you'll be out of shape, you know, like, everyone has to start somewhere. The biggest guy at the gym once was a skinny kid, or a fat kid. You know, that's how life goes. Gotta start somewhere. You gotta start somewhere. But once you start, if you trust the process, you persevere, you know, great things can come from it. Just waiting for hourly candle closure here, waiting for 9 o'clock. Want to see what's gonna happen here on GJ right now. Still got a little bit of our position running on gold. Closed out 75% here at 37 pips right now. I took a pretty sad L. As I was setting my sell stop, for whatever reason, I entered a buy market execution with like double my normal lot size, and the spread alone. Anyway, made it back. Not too bad. Fuck, is what it is, eh? Can't believe it. Man, you gotta be careful. Gotta be careful. Not gonna count it as a loss. I mean, put the trade in by mistake. But shit. If close like this, then you can expect the stream to end at 9 o'clock. Gold kinda just ranging at this point. If we do get a kick of volume come London Open and we break these lows, of course, then you should tap into the support level. But you may also get a nasty little wake up, and that could just stop us out at break even. And you know, then at that point you can just be thankful that you've closed out the majority of your position here, because you were smart, you were not greedy. Got what you came for and you bounced. I mean, if your 15-minute closes like that, you are, you know, forming a resistance here, tying in with this resistance, but that's a 15-minute. On your 30-minute here, you are closing bullish on a support. Didn't close below support on the previous candle. And on the hourly, you're just closing with a massive wick to this area. So, like I say, if we close above this support level, that's the stream done for the day. I would like to see gold play out. Um, I will wait a little bit into London, maybe 9:30 latest. Just let's see if we hit break even or our target here. Definitely not a good time to be taking pies on gold. Unless you maybe get a closure above here later in the day, 1832, you may just have a hard time. Although we've had this strong rejection, you know, just zoom out a little bit. Downtrend through and through, forming lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, you know. Here on a slightly lower time frame, same story. Lower highs, lower lows, lower high, lower low. 1811, 1810, question mark. Let's see if we can close like this. This 30 minutes or 15-minute closing like that doesn't look too bad to drive on down. GJ, come on. Not a bad closure here on gold to carry on pushing down. Let's just see. GJ, I mean, not too bad breaking those lows, but we don't have a top wick here. I know we closed on the support, but I mean the 15-minute is pretty solid, and even this setup on a 30, breaking those lows looks good. But like I say, no top wick, not interested here. Either way, too late. I mean, just driving here. session. So yeah, anything could happen here at gold. Like I say, sitting at a 4-hour support. We've got London open volume now. Got a nice little wick up here on our new hourly to possibly push down. Let's see what happens. GJ, I mean, the sales made sense, complete sense. Just missed the entry, and that's okay. Didn't really see anything meeting our criteria there. And I think just this happened a little bit too fast here. Like I say, if we had a bit more of a wick up on this candle and then a break of these lows, that would have been okay. Like I say, going to wait a little bit longer here. Just want to see how gold plays out, if we hit break even or if we hit our targets here. Like I say, at this support I will have 90% of my position closed, leaving 10% to run down to target, and at that point whatever happens happens. So like I say, if we hit this target then I'll be off the stream. If we hit break even I'll be off. No trades here on GJ. Great setup. Just missed the execution, I guess. Just trying to take something away from this missed move. You know, if you're looking at the higher time frames here, we are bearish. And even though we had this doji on this level, you know, with London volume, you would expect that if price were to break these lows, you get some sort of movement down. So, in a situation like this again, not saying coulda, woulda, shoulda, I'm just trying to see, you know, how could this move have been caught. So, you know, as we closed below this support here on a 30, if you had kept a sell stop below that candle, I mean, that could have played out. You would have grabbed about 20 pips there. 20 pips. This is quite a big range here. GJ was volatile yesterday. That's quite a big range, actually. Man, GJ's looking like a monster. 80 pip range on GJ. Okay, but yeah, I mean, could have grabbed 20 pips there and had stops at break even. And you would have managed that pretty aggressively without that top wick. So just taking notes here. Trying to learn something for next time. Looks like gold might have created its top wick. Let's see if we can flip bearish and push down to support here. If you're watching the stream this morning, please give a thumbs up, subscribe, and yeah, welcome to the stream. Happy Friday. Hope you have a great weekend. I'm not going to be on here too much longer. If you have any questions, please feel free. Just dead here. Dead. All of a sudden. Clearly showing some indecision around this 4-hour support. If you get a wick up here on GJ, come back and close back below support. Where did this level come from? If you get a wick up here, close back below support, you've now got a nice wick to fill. So you could be looking at something at 930. Definitely got volume here, but also coming to a area here on the 4-hour. Might get tricky on GJ now. Only reason I'm still here is we are still in a trade on gold. Just got a tiny position left, closed about 75% of the original position. So decent little profit for Friday. Just wanting to see how the rest of this move plays out, and then we can call it a day. Currently got about 25% of this position running. Looks like we've just broken the high on the 30, so looking like we might tap break even here. You got a support formed here now. Tying in pretty close to that 4-hour level. Quite a big move there on gold. Markets are going crazy. Think your sells below this level over here, 156,530, are gonna be really nice. You know, we had a pretty aggressive drop yesterday. Not too sure how much more of this the market has in it, but if you're playing with the trend here, you know, you closed bearish yesterday with a nice wick to fill. Your new daily candle has pushed straight up. If we can flip back bearish, you know, you should fill some of this wick here. So that's not a bad idea either. Wait for a closure below that level, and then yeah, it's pretty much clean traffic below there. About a 50-60 pip range. Looks like we've created a little bit of a top wick on the hourly. Just a little baby one. It looks like we may just hit break even with what's left here on gold. So once again, good thing we've secured some profit. Closure like this on a 15, we're closing below that support. Got a wick to fill. I'm really sorry guys, I've been muted, but sales on the flip of this candle here, sell stop, I mean stop loss above the previous 15, or the hourly should I say, and as we fill this wick, should be about 10 pips, we'll move stops to break even. Looking for price to drive back down to support. I'm sorry, I've got a really bad habit of muting the mic and forgetting it's muted. It's just like next door, the guy's cutting grass and you know, like, you guys don't need to hear that. Probably gonna actually have runners down to fill some of the daily wick, because if we tap into the support level at that point, our daily should just about be flipping bearish, and if we flip bearish with some volume, we should definitely fill this wick. So to have a little runner down there will be not a bad idea. Gold really just maybe toying with our emotions, I'm not sure. Hasn't hit break even. You know what, I'm not gonna lie, I'm just happy these guys are not cutting grass on a Sunday. Normally they do it on a Sunday or Saturday. We're trying to have like a Sunday nap, and then the stupid neighbors cutting grass. Like, seriously. Average view time 11:11. Oh, you guys are special. You guys are angels. Give me lucky numbers on a Friday. Friday the 13th. Fuck. Maybe we should manage this trade a little bit. Yeah. You see, one way we could manage this position, for instance, talk about risk management earlier, about that 40 pip loss, a way we could have managed it better. So yeah, we've got about a 28, 30 pip stop loss, let's say. But yeah, once we break this 15-minute high, that'll be 10 pips, and we can close the majority of our position. So that will limit the loss drastically. about 6 minutes to our 30-minute candle closure here. Looking a little bit funky on the low time frames. Gold moving back down. Okay, closing half here. Broke the high there on the 15. Are you stupid? So half closed here. Had about negative 10 pips. Negative 12 pips. Gold here has hit break even. Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it the way it is there. GJ closed half at 10 pips, negative 10 pips, shall I say. And then, at this point, if you wanted to add that half back, it probably would be a good time, as your 15 is flipping bearish. Otherwise, you wait for the 30-minute closure, wait for your wick up. I just think that you should know when to add your risk back. Otherwise, if you want to cut your losses and not add your risk back, that's also fine. Got about 1 minute, 2 minutes left on the 30 minutes here. Okay. Always put my stop loss a couple pips above to account for spread. Also with your sell stops and buy stops, you need to account for the spread. Okay, pushing up here, so if we do take the full stop, then we haven't taken the full stop, we've only taken half. Yeah. It is what it is. So Fridays, man. Same story as the first week of the live stream. Nice win on gold and then took a loss on GJ. It's part of the game. Part of the game. Taking a lot of trades this week. Guess we didn't really need that one. But you know, that's the thing about the stream, there's no cheating it. You see me take the trades here in front of you. You see me document them here in front of you. Okay, cool. At least you can hear me. Our stop was 29. Let's just say 30. Closed half at negative 12. Closed full at basically leaving us with 7 pips for the day. Yeah, it is what it is. Sorry, not a W. So L. Go up to L. 2 losses this week. So for the week, let's do the math here. Had a really nice banging Monday. 80 pips plus 53 plus 10 minus 40. Forgot to add that plus 37. Did I? What's going on today? Clearly not thinking correctly. 80. Okay, let's add all the wins and then we subtract the losses. What the fuck? Okay, 170 perps. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know why I got a different number. Doing it on my phone, I must have missed something. And I was quite confused. 70 perps, not bad. Yeah, 170. Pretty up and down week, but so far the best week on the stream, actually. That Monday pretty much carried us through. Took a nasty little loss there on Tuesday. Managed the loss a lot better today. As you can see, instead of taking a full stop now, we didn't. We took a slightly smaller loss. So that balances things out. Not a bad week here. So I hope everyone has a great weekend. That's me. Yeah, I guess we can start fresh next week. Looks like we're rejecting this support level. So it could get interesting on GJ next week. Maybe we get a continuation up. Maybe we range a little bit next week. Get a bullish doji close kind of thing. And then following week we get that move up. Gold looks like it's just very, very bearish. So we'll see. Yeah. Cheers everyone. See you next week. Have a great weekend.